I have the honor and the privilege to represent the neighborhoods in Northeast and Southeast Minneapolis. From Eastern Europeans to East Africans, this is the home to many immigrants. They add to the fabric of our society. They add to the richness of our community. And they add to the flavor of our neighborhoods by all their great restaurants. One of those restaurants is Kramarczuk's. A lot of Eastern Europeans, like my Polish grandparents, came here in the early 1900s. Others, like Wasyl Kramarczuk, came here after World War II. I grew up with, and I proudly represent, a strong, vibrant Ukrainian-American community. Like many communities, they value their cultural traditions. They cherish the music, the food, the dancing, and for the Ukrainians, the decorative Easter eggs. Oris Kramarczuk recently wrote in the Star Tribune about his family, Ukraine, and Russia. He wrote about how this war is rooted in Russia's displacing and destroying Ukraine and their culture. He said it is about destroying Ukraine's soul. When Russia took over almost a century ago, many Ukrainians died of starvation. Russia became the official language, and the Ukrainian traditions were no more. It was cultural and human genocide. Around 1991, Ukraine voted for independence. They were once again able to celebrate their cultural and their traditions. They experienced freedom and democracy. They don't want to go back. They want to remain independent. As Mr. Kramarczuk said in the Star Tribune article, they got their soul back. I want to thank Ethan Roberts and JCRC for helping with this bill. They stepped up as many Ukrainian Americans were focused on finding information on their relatives. I also want to thank Ms. Luda Anastasievsky, chair of the Minnesota Ukrainian American Advocacy Committee, for all her efforts to raise awareness and organizing help, all the while hoping for information on her relatives. As Senator Housley said, Luda is from Mariupol. As my cousin in Poland said, Mariupol is no more. Mariupol had a population similar to Minneapolis. It is now dealing with displacement, destruction, and death. They don't know how many died from the bombings. They don't know how many are dying from starvation or lack of medicine, and they don't know how many got out. It is genocide again. Luda testified that she doesn't know how her family is doing. Think about that. Think about when you try to reach your spouse or your kids or your parents. It's frustrating. But I know I'm not worried, are they alive? I'm not worried, how are they surviving without food, without medicine, without electricity, without water? That is what Luda and Minnesotans with relatives in Ukraine are wondering. How can we help them, and how can we help our constituents? How do we help the people of Ukraine save their culture, save their soul, save their democracy? We can help by voting green. This bill sends a message that we can work together, that we support the sovereign, democratic nation of Ukraine in a measured way that works for the State Board of Investment. Please vote green to oppose Putin, to oppose this war, to oppose the genocide. Please vote green to stand with Ukraine and our Ukrainian Minnesotans. Please vote green for freedom and democracy. Slava Ukraini. Thank you, members.